Hello, welcome to a new macro video. We've got a new macro today. I'm excited about it, as usual. It seems to me to be a quite powerful system. So, what would you say were the most powerful macros? Well, to me, without a doubt, it's threaded and multi-switch. Now, what is it about those two which makes them so powerful? Well, I would say that they are the most adaptable macros. Why? Because they make the changes that you want. In other words, you create a list of the items that you want to change, and that's entirely up to you what you want. I've called this type of macro a content-free macro. In other words, the macro itself does not specify the content, you specify it. So, how did this macro start? Well, someone asked what I always like people to ask: is there a macro for such and such? And what she wanted to do, the lady in question, was to enter these tags, these codes, into the various paragraphs of the document she was working on at the beginning of each paragraph. So I could have created a macro specific to her, which would take this list and give her codes to do it. But I thought, well, while I was doing it, why not make it content free so that you would produce a list of the codes you want, and then the macro would throw up a menu and it would allow you to put them in. So let's have a go. What we need to do is to put in the codes to start off with. Don't just ignore the how it's done at the moment. Come back to that. We've set the text ready, so we now have those codes set up in the macro and it's ready to use whenever I need them. So when I run the macro, I can say, well, I want a number 1 there, please, and oops, don't analyze this macro now. What I meant was I want a number 2 and a number 3. Okay. Those, by the way, they are numbers on this one, but they can be letters, any letters you want. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so that's how it works. We need to be able to set it up. So obviously you would download the macro and put it in. When you do, you also have to do something else. At the beginning of the macro is this line here, a private line. So that is a way in which I can set something up in your computer so that this macro can use the code, or rather the text, that you want today. And so you copy that and you put it in at the top here. There it is. So just at the bottom there, I've already put it in, obviously, because I'm using it. So that's it in terms of setting up, but we need to see what that looks like when we get the codes here. So what I've given this lady is a file which says insert text at the top with a pad character, and then all the different items are there. Obviously the first item there before the first pad character is the code that appears on the menu. The second bit is the actual text that's typed in when you select number 1, and the text to the left is what is displayed in the menu. I mean, you don't have to have that there. You could just it could just do that, and then it would set up as the menu as just, well, you can see if I run it, let's set it to that, then try and use it. And it just has one recipe head there. Okay, so that's the basis of it. But having got that far, I thought, well, I could, well, maybe they might not want the text at the beginning of a paragraph. They might want it at the end of the paragraph, or they might want it at the beginning of the current word or at the end of the current word. So I started to put all those different features into it. And so you can have different ways of doing it. So if I select that one and set that up, reset the text to those particular items. Then when I go to here, let's get rid of the funny codes are there already. So I can go in the first one there, and I can decide that I want the second item there, number 2, and it goes at the end, whereas the first one went at the beginning. Okay, and what you'll also notice is that we've got some possibilities here of putting in extra codes, so that if I use these ones here, if I set this up now, so if I use those instead, let's move that over out of the way so I can have a look at it. Right, so let's get rid of those first. Right, so if we decide that we want that first one, and we type in number one this time, it goes at the beginning of the paragraph, but with the carriage return. So that's what this caret P is there. That's saying type out RH with the carriage return. And so if we try a number 4, look, that's got an exclamation mark there. So if I try a number 4 here, then that goes at the end of the paragraph, not at the beginning. So the exclamation mark moves the insert point to the end of the paragraph, not the beginning. The assumption is that it goes at the beginning. You don't actually need to put the exclamation mark at the beginning, but if you want to do words, then you use you use dollar at the beginning or end of the line, and that's that. What else do we need to know? You've got the caret P. You can have tabs as well by using caret T, and if you want a space, well, you can put a space in, but if you use caret 32, then it's more obviously a space. And caret W means add the current word. Type that in the result. So if I went to beginning here and ran, what have we got? We've got this number 7 there, 7. So it's taken the word beginning and put it at the beginning of the paragraph with a colon following it. So that's what that said there. It said go to the beginning, that's the exclamation mark there, type the word that we've got with a colon, then with a tab, and that's just the text. I called it head word insert to put that on the menu. I think that's it. I think I've told you all the bits and bobs. Yeah, have a play. I've only just finished programming it, so if you're an early adopter of this, then there may be issues, but do get in touch and we'll get that sorted out for you. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.